gentlemen, boys and girls, Universal Studios Hollywood is now open.
Need a deal on green tinted sunglasses?
I got it. What? Even tie-dye shirt with four black and white, with sort of a suit thing kind of thing going. I got it, guys. I got it, guys.
We go to Moe's Tavern. We go to Moe's Tavern. Bumblebee start.
Ahorita primero sí todo y luego me pones con el temor.
It's easy. These represent just a few of the thousands. Speaking of which, take a look at this scene from a black and white movie and see if you can recognize what film it's from.
I have the room ready for you and Mrs. Barrington.
Thank you, Walker.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Mrs. Barrington.
Outside. And coming up on your left-hand side is Soundstage 12, which is currently home to NBC's hit singing competition, The Voice, which is hosted by Carson Daly. Take a look.
Hey everybody, I'm Carson Daly from NBC's The Voice. I want to welcome you to the Universal Front Lot. Our show is filmed on stage 12. It happens to be the largest soundstage on the Universal lot. Take a look.
That's right, folks. Some of the largest sets ever created in Hollywood were built right there inside that stage. From Frankenstein's lab to Dracula's castle, even Steven Spielberg's visitor center for Jurassic Park. Yeah! Having his morning martini, toasting the success of Ted and Ted 2. So folks, if you notice that we look like we're in a little bit more of a residential, possibly my favorite part of the back lot. It's Courthouse Square. You might remember it as Hill Valley and the amazing trilogy from Back to the Future. Take a look on your left-hand side. Here we are. So folks, you might notice that the courthouse clock tower looks a little bit different than it did in the movies, and that's because it became so recognizable after Back to the Future that producers had to change it and put a facade in front of it, that way they could use it for later productions. Not only did Back to the Future film here, so did many other films. Take a look. You might also recognize this area from the TV show Ghost Whisper, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. Okay, well ladies and gentlemen, we are now leaving the small town of Hill Valley and entering the Big Apple. That's right, New York City. We're coming up on New York Street, and well, our co-host Jimmy Fallon, he is no stranger to New York because that's where he films The Tonight Show.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right.
So folks, if you notice at the end of that 3D experience, we had the last car of our tram end up on screen. And anytime that you see a vehicle on screen, we here at Universal refer to that as a picture car. And there are times when picture cars become, well, just as famous as the actors who drive them.
Look out!
That's right, break out those cameras, folks, because on your left-hand side, you're going to see some of these most famous picture cars right here on the line. Starting with Kid from Knight Rider in the 2008 reboot. And one of my favorites, Biff's classic 50s car from Back to the Future. And of course, we can't mention picture cars without mentioning Fast and the Furious. We got some of those too. And down here at the end, folks, you'll notice that we have the Jeep and the gyrosphere from Jurassic World. If you notice, our co-host Jimmy Fallon in the movie was also inside that gyrosphere. That was a little throw to us here at the tours. You're probably thinking to yourself, though, that gyrosphere looks a little incomplete. And you'd be right. That's because it doesn't have the glass around it. Well, if you can believe it, when we shot that movie, there was no glass around it. That was added through computer graphic imagery later on. And the reason is if we would have had glass around it when we shot, you would have seen both the camera, production crew, and the director all looking right back at you in the final cut. So we couldn't. That's the mobile lab from the Lost World, which you will see coming up on your left-hand side right there. Also, dinosaurs are pretty much within our DNA here at Universal Studios now. So we also keep Dilophosaurus and Jizz. Ken, where are the Dilophosaurus? I did not lock them up. I thought you locked them up. Oh, folks, take cover. Here they are. Oh, man. Well, at least they're shooting water and not acid like the movies, right? So, folks, as I was mentioning, the mobile lab, which we hung off the Carl Laemmle parking structure off of Lancashire Boulevard, we dressed the structure to look like a cliff and hung it off in the movie. So that mobile lab isn't made out of mobile lab parts. It's actually just made out of plywood. And then the trees that you see right here on your left-hand side, well, those are not made out of wood at all.
Amity Island and Isla Nublar. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the lot.
Okay, folks, we're in Old Mexico, so it seems we have a flash flood warning here. I'm still seeing sun, so I don't quite know that that's what's going on. I mean, there's thunder, but... Oh, look! Well, I guess Al was spot on. Here comes the rain. So, folks, if you notice, these effects are created by sprinklers that we have hidden. If you take a look up, we're throwing the water into the air and let it fall down naturally. And those raindrops are a little fatter than normal rain, and that's so that the camera can pick them up and make it look like it is a complete torrential downpour. The thunder you're hearing is coming from speakers hidden in the trees, and then we also create lightning by strobe lights that are hidden on the buildings behind you. Now, folks, I'm hearing a rumble, something that sounds a little more than thunder. Cars 3 and 4, you guys noticing anything back there that seems a little... Okay, yep, that's a flood. Take cover. It's coming this way, car one. Oh. Nice. So, folks, this effect is created by thousands of gallons of... Well, folks, everybody wave goodbye to Old Mexico. If you look at that area, you might actually recognize it as it replicated Cuba and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Add some fog and presto, you have yourself a high seas shoot. Saying, folks, this is an active filming set. Strapped and ready. Okay, nothing to worry about. That's just a small trimmer. We got those here in California from time to time. All right, yep. Okay, it's not stopping. Everybody just hold on to your seats. Ken, are you wearing your seatbelt? Ken, put your seatbelt on. I don't want to lose you. Never let go, Ken. Never let go. Oh my gosh. Folks in cars 3 and 4, take a look. You can see the second floor now. Okay, that was a big one. Everybody go ahead and look at the person to your left and look at the person to your right. Give them a hug and tell them you love them. If you happen to be traveling with any friends or family that's a fire, go ahead and tell them how you really feel. You might not get another chance. Okay. That was big. Here comes the train. Look out, car one! I think it's over. I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, that's a water main. Team, can you open the doors? Okay, let's get out of here. I can't take this. Well, I know what you guys are thinking. That shark looked pretty fake up close, didn't it? Well, tell me one thing. Why were you all screaming? Bruce wasn't just a terror on screen, he was an even bigger terror off screen, if you guys can believe it. On the first day of filming, he sank to the bottom of the ocean, and that is just where the problems began with Bruce. Take a listen.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working.
And, uh-oh. Folks, I'm really sorry. We have a car that's not on the street, and I'm
Video tour?
yeah, this is Maticus. We have a 1970s black Charger that is not parked on the street above Colonial Street, and it also doesn't have a pass.
Okay.
Most best still standing sets on the back lot, the Bates Motel and the Psycho House. Talk about a guy with mommy issues, right? So folks, we are coming up on the Psycho House, and if you take a look, you might notice that the windows at the top of the house are smaller than the windows on the bottom, and that's because it utilizes what we call forced perspective. It makes the house look larger and more ominous on camera. And if you take a look at the top left window, you might notice somebody, and that's Norman's mother. And of course Norman had issues. Take a look at what was in his backyard. None other than one of the greatest sets ever created and destroyed. It's Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Folks, we're going to come to a stop here in just a few moments, and when we do, you are allowed for a brief second to stand up and take pictures. This is amazing. This right here is an actual Boeing 747 that production bought for $60,000, which might sound like a steal for a plane, but if you can believe it, it cost them over $200,000 to ship it. And isn't that where they always get you, Ken? Shipping and handling. Every time.
And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service, and as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come, and he'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, Stink Pickle.
I'm so tired of you state guys stepping in just whenever you feel like.
Mute him.
Okay.
Don't you?
Sorry.
That's better. We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control. Until then, I want everybody to stay calm. Enjoy the ride. I'm taking care of business. Hobbs out.
Okay, folks, you heard Hobbs. There is a witness, so we're going to hide out here in Sullivan's, which is a no chop shop and street racer hangout. And I'm now getting another message. Let's pull it up and see what they have to say.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. Our buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
Okay, folks, I hear music. Sounds like a party is going on.
took the iron shirt, man? I'm not.
On the ground right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roland, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss. Got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to be real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, roll the truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Okay, folks, time to break out that protective eyewear I was talking about earlier. You're gonna need it. Also, let's remember to keep all cameras and cell phones put away so that we can remain hidden.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. Let's hook him up. I got the bull by the horn. Now we're moving.
Don't think you're getting away!
Where to go, buddy? Drone's lining up the missile shot. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this. Rolling up shoot, head for the bridge. Under construction. Everybody hold on. Hit the exit.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that fast and furious at work, give it up for Super Towers!
Good job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
You know what's crazy up there? You guys ride hard.
Now, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Ladies